to choose Jimmy Butler as the guy to vilify, to choose Jimmy Butler as the guy to root against, is very disappointing, and it's sad, and it's downright wrong. It really is. This guy who came from absolutely nothing, homeless, living in a car, okay, nothing, came from nothing, brought himself from the shits to a top. You don't want to agree he's top 10 player. I do believe he's a top 10 player in the league right now.
Oh, he's top 10, bro. Come on.
His name is in the top 10. He should never even have been near this. That's the guy you choose to vilify. That's the guy. That's wrong, man. It's wrong. It really is. I'm disappointed in people that have this role and have this platform, and they choose to do that. Please stop. Please. You want to have fun. You want to be a fan. Get the hell off the camera and just go be a fan then. But if you want to do this, you have a duty and you have a right. You do. Speak to anybody who does this at the highest level. You do. They know I'm speaking facts about this. So I just wanted to say that real quick. All respect to Jimmy Butler. I love that man from the bottom. I take there's no hatred in my heart to this Miami Heat team that we lost. I am prideful. I am proud of this Miami Heat run. We'll talk about it on the next show, but that's all I wanted to say real quick.
Jimmy Butler, real quick, didn't continue his elite level play from the first and third rounds. More so the first, we averaged 37 points per game. But I think everybody likes to pick on him for not winning a series with his team and no business being in. We've seen for multiple different years, not just the bubble. We saw in 2017 when Rondo and him were up 2-1 on a number 1 seeded Celtics team. We saw it in 2018 where he had to come off a torn meniscus, dragging Minnesota back into the playoffs, and he was the only reason that team had any right winning 50 games. Throughout Jimmy's entire career, he's been one of those guys. He is the Reggie Miller of this generation. And I think in the regular season, everybody's going to look at the counting stats and not appreciate his impact on winning. The guy is a warrior, but at the same time, if you don't like him, it's because your team's probably been knocked out multiple times by him in the playoffs. Let's be real. In the playoffs, he has won 2 of 3 series versus Giannis. He has won 2 of 3 series versus Jason Tatum. He's outplayed each of those 2 guys in multiple different playoff runs. He's put a Miami team that the year before he signed with them in 2019 was a 31 team. Into the finals. You hear this guy? 16-year-old Kyle is prepping up for NASCAR. I don't know what to say. He's put a team that had no business being in the second round of the playoffs into the historic company of the 1999 Knicks as the only teams to beat a number 1 seed. Well, actually, there was a third in 2007. The idea here is Jimmy Butler in 25 years might be one of the most misunderstood players in history. And I think there is an obligation for people that watch him today to understand the full picture. The guy had an ankle injury this year. Last year, he outplayed Tatum with a knee injury too. Now we use that Jason Tatum ankle injury though in Game 7 to say, what could have been? Jimmy ain't going down 3-0 like that. And when he did, the one year he did go down 3-0, and he got swept by the Bucks. That was the shortest offseason in NBA history, 50 games. It's a testament to his willpower that he was even playing in that series because he had to carry that Miami team that was injured the entire year to the playoffs in and of itself. So I say all of that because Jimmy Butler has shown you time in and time out in the playoffs. Look, I'm better than all of these guys, and I'm continuing to get better at 33 years old. He's the best leader, I think, in the entire Eastern Conference. But you need the coach and the role players that are able to match his level of intensity. And if you don't have that, you're probably not going to be able to contain him. When you do, I don't think there's a player I'd rather have in the playoff crucible because again and again, he finds a way to overachieve. This Nugget team could be a fucking dynasty. And we're upset at him that he couldn't beat taking the 5 or 6 games. Like, are we serious? Like, this Nugget team is incredibly built. The Heat are really built. But I don't think at the end of the day, we should use it against Jimmy that he wasn't able to take him to 7 games. Could he have played better? Yes. But at the same time, this guy's coming off an ankle injury. That's the type of thing that will swell up. And when it does swell up, you're going to lose some mobility. And naturally, in time, you're going to wear down.
And listen, and Jimmy will be the first to say the ankle's not the problem. I got to play better. He will. It's, you know, and to speak on that, Jimmy goes in with against these teams, and he's supposedly has the less talented team, and yet he finds a way to get it done. He's ended up in 2 finals with a less talented team than these other guys who are supposed to be favorites. That these people are supposed to be better than him. He seems to find a way. And one thing I just would love to see is, can Jimmy Butler get to a finals with at least his top 3 players healthy, right? Okay, because the first time Goran Dragic, their playoff leading scorer, didn't play a game. Bam Adebayo missed 2 games. In this year's finals, we know Tyler Hero hasn't played the entire playoffs. Basically, there's 1 game, a couple minutes actually. I would love to see that. No excuses. Like I said, Denver Nuggets won this series. They were the better team. They were obviously the better team. They were the best team this year. But last thing for me, the Miami Heat will be back. Scary hours are coming. Big tings, big rings. Time is up, if you get what I'm saying.
Ah, here we go.